Hello and welcome. I'm Jess Campmans Guided by Equus with your horse wisdom insights for the Scorpio new moon happening on and around November 4th. So just taking a breath. It's the early morning here, hoping to catch the ability to do this outside without the wind blowing in and making the sound not really valuable. And the words I'm getting right now is calling. And it's funny because my dog every morning goes and barks at all the coyotes around our farm. And so she's out there kind of responding to their calls that were happening all night long that she, in the garage, can't go and respond to. And yet this calling that feels like it's part of this new moon, interesting, feels like that. It's like a trigger warning, and maybe not necessarily warning, but warning we kind of take in the fashion of something that we fear. But a warning is like a warning system, which I guess there's always something that's could be coming when we feel that sense of warning. And then we kind of want to go into often protection mode or attack mode. And there, with this calling, it's like it's calling or summoning up, which is very much kind of a Scorpio thing, what is deep within us to bring to the surface. And Sadie's just joining us here. And so that calling or that summoning that's happening with this time right now actually feels very related to the sacral chakra and our pelvis, and interestingly enough, our ancestors, which is calling us to connect to that piece or that central space of creativity within us that we are all part of because of a certain ancestral heritage as well as soul heritage. And we sometimes might think of those two things as different, but actually they really are one and the same. And not necessarily that our ancestral family, well, I guess kind of to back it up, it's like a collective piece that feels like it's calling us into it. Because what's helping us to rise into our ability to be creative is needing us to recognize those patterns and those limitations that are holding us back from really stepping into that ability to work through our sacral chakra and bring our creativity into the world. And creativity is really our ability to co-create with the universe, with the magic of the universe, and bring something that is inspiring and healing to life. And healing is just the release of all of those things that are blocking our creativity. And so I love that actually, and I don't know how much you can see of the sky behind me, but the most creative time for myself is always first thing in the morning, in the dark, and then when the sun rises, because that feels like I'm able to connect to something greater, something outside myself in the most easy way. And then to add the horses, just kind of helps bring that process to life in a more grounded way. So just kind of taking a breath and feeling into that. And I'd invite you to feel into your own body right now. And if there's a sense that you get that is somewhere that is in tension or feels like it's in restriction or restricting you from doing something that you actually want to, that's a calling into yourself, into your life, into your connection to your ancestors and your relationships with everything, with the energy of that, of where you're feeling restricted. I know I can share a little bit on that. That's the work I've been doing lately, is I'm having lots of physical, I know I've been sharing this a lot, and finally it feels like I'm getting somewhere with it, but all of these things that are physically restricting me of being able to be creative like how I really want to, and feel called to, all of these places in my body and my life that are feeling very restrictive of me moving in that space is asking us right now to acknowledge them and recognize them, and find space to allow them to be part of our life in a way that we can help them move, so that we can move. And I hope that kind of all makes sense. And one more piece to this. I don't know how this is relative, but it feels like it. Last night with my youngest, we were having this conversation about her and her friends at school, and just, some relationship dynamics. And I usually, I think, preface most things in it that I know are going to be a deeper conversation with, I don't really know how to, or how do I start? Anyways, how she said it was, Mom, I usually use that, and I used to talk to my stuffy animals, and I would say, I don't really know how to say this, but, and I think that actually comes from me not feeling comfortable speaking my truth when I was young. And so it seems like I preface everything I say with, I don't really know how to say this, because then I'll pause and I'll wait for the words to come. But it feels like that's a protection mechanism that I have now instilled with all of this. So just recognizing that, that's funny, I can feel that kind of ground through my legs. And so it's being able to speak to what it is that has been restricting us. So that's really interesting, and that the light is kind of releasing itself in a way that is shining on something new, even in this new moon where it's dark. That's the place that we have to go into through a feeling sense rather than a being able to see it, because there's light and dark. So I would invite you guys over the next couple weeks to really go into that feeling space, and where it feels most restrictive is calling you to feel into it and to create space around it, to see what else is there for you. So, and I can see that there's at least one horse rolling back there, helping ground the energy. So much love from myself and all of the horses of Guided by Equus, with your horse wisdom insights for the Scorpio new moon. Take care and stay tuned for more horse wisdom insights guided by Equus.